Welcome back, Big Orange fans. Your Tennessee VOLS are 1-0 to start the year. And I would say day one of the Joey Aguilar experiment was a passing grade to me.
I absolutely agree. And before we really get into any of that, guys, remember to like, subscribe, comment. What we'd like for you to comment today is, what did you think of the game? Your overall impressions, good, bad. Did we upgrade at quarterback? That is a question I've seen a lot of people did. A lot of people ask. So that's probably my biggest question is, what was your overall impression of the games? Have we upgraded at quarterback over Nico?
Maybe put in one most pleasant surprise and the one your biggest concern.
Yeah,
too.
Because that's one thing. That's some of the stuff we're going to talk about today. Yes, Aguilar impressed me, Tim, considering the fact that our wide receivers have been banged up all fall camp. So I expected there to be some timing issues. Other than throwing some balls high, I thought he played well. I liked the fact that he didn't freak out whenever there was a little bit of pressure on him.
And there wasn't a whole lot, though.
No, there wasn't.
I thought he just felt comfortable in the offense.
Yeah.
I thought look, that's just everyone's opinion, but I thought he looked more comfortable in the offense in game one than that Nico did at any point last year. And I know Nico's gone. We can move on.
Right.
But at the same token, I mean, we do have to compare it to what we had last year.
Right.
Because, this was the story of the off season.
Yeah.
And I was real pleased with the first day, considering he'd been on campus about 3 months. The receivers have been banged up. And I know they dropped a lot of passes to start the game.
Right.
But I'm giving the passing game and the passing grade.
Yeah. Probably another thing that I was pleased with, we found out right before game time that David Sanders, our starting right tackle,
freshman 5-star.
He got dinged up in Wednesday's practice. Nothing serious, I reckon, but the thing is, it happened on Wednesday, so at the very most, they had one practice. If they had a practice, it might have just been a walkthrough of the new situation where they had moved Jesse Perry from right guard to right tackle, and then moved Moy from left guard to right guard, and Umaroff went in at left guard. And I had somebody ask me, why did they move so many people? It's because Sham Umaroff basically can only play left guard. He struggles at right guard. So he is our, he moves in at left guard, so Moy's at right guard. So you have a lot of chemistry issues.
Yeah, three movements. You know what, though? I like that. They were dealt some adversity.
And they overcome it. Yeah,
they overcome it and look good doing it.
I'll tell you somebody else, in my opinion, that kind of surprised me a little bit was Star Thomas. I think we have 3 good running backs. I didn't know he was at that level, and he's played better than I thought he played. I mean, he might have been the best back out there today.
It's possible. We got 3 good guys.
Yeah.
That's, once again, take it at a grain of salt. Syracuse was a very poor defensive team last year. They replaced most of the defense, which I'm not sure is necessarily a bad thing.
Right.
They went to the portal and then brought down a lot of guys. One guy about your age, Bob, I believe, played about 8th, 9th year in the college football.
Reese, yeah,
Reese.
Yeah.
But we opened up holes. The backs took advantage of it. The backs got involved in the passing game, other than a shuttle pass, which has been our only offense passing to our running backs, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I thought the offensive line was a bright spot today.
It was. I'll tell you another bright spot for me, Tim. I don't know if it's quite in this order, but Colton Hood and Ty Redmond, the freshman.
True freshman. Look.
Both those guys look really good, and I was a little bit concerned about McCoy being out. We had heard rumors about Hood, looking really good, and Redmond looking really good, and man, we got 4 outstanding corners, and I didn't realize uh, that Gibson had gotten banged up, and he missed the entire
Jordan,
second
yeah.
half. Yeah. So when you got Redmond and Hood in there in the second half, man, I was impressed. They played pretty good.
They did. I think I'm real pleased with them. I will say, let's jump on something we're not pleased with.
Sure.
Number one thing, injuries. Defensively, look like a match unit out there. I'm hoping they're not serious.
By far, my biggest concern coming out of this game is injuries, and primarily injuries at defensive tackle. We got major concerns there. You got Jackson Boy, which goes out very early in the game, very early in the first quarter. He's out. You already had David Hobbs that was out, which is probably our number 3 defensive tackle. Bryson Easton gets banged up. He's in and out of the game throughout the game, but he's not 100% by no means. The number 4 defensive tackle, probably Nathan Robinson, which looked really good today, I thought. He got banged up some. The number 5 defensive tackle, Jamal Wallace, got banged up some. We had a transfer in Snell, and I never saw him in the game. I don't know if he played or not, but apparently he's a little light, so I'm not sure where he is on the depth chart exactly. And he had 2 freshmen, Ethan Utley and Campbell, who they love, but those guys are like 275.
They're still undersized, and they're freshmen.
They're freshmen. They need a year. This time next year, I fully expect a big difference.
Yeah, in a perfect world, they're good enough that you're probably giving them 15, 20 snaps a game when you want to give them 15 or 20 snaps a game.
Yeah, those are guys who get you 2 or 3 snaps at a time.
Yeah, get you a series and go sit down for a while,
Yeah.
But yeah, we're concerned right
We're
there.
worried right there. And Robinson, what worries me even more about that is Robinson's got a history of injuries. He's a lot like Keenan Pili and Jordan Thomas. I hate to say it, but it's just a ticking time bomb as when he gets hurt and when he's out.
Well, unfortunately, he has had the injury bug.
And Wallace might be in the same situation. He's missed a lot of time too. So you got some concerns there at defensive tackle. We need to get Hobbs back. Hopefully, we've not heard any kind of news on Hobbs. Not Morley. As far as how serious his injury was.
Now, I don't know, but I will say this. I was a little concerned. It seemed like, even though we had 5 sacks today, we didn't really seem like we collapsed the pocket very much. And that probably has a lot to do with it. Our defensive tackles were so banged up, we're getting, nothing to really push on that.
That does make a big difference, man. If you're not getting a whole lot of push at defensive tackle, those guys help create a lot of sacks for the defensive ends. They really do.
They do. And it wasn't just injuries there. We had them in the secondary. We had them at linebacker. Yeah. Aaron Carter went out for quite a while.
Yeah.
I think Spillman went out for a while. We had, you mentioned the corners that are already hurt, but I think even the guys that replaced them, like Redmond, I think he got banged up for a little while.
A little bit, yeah.
It was, and we played a lot of people even before they was getting hurt.
That's another positive, is we played a lot of people, and we played them early. I think you mentioned Ben Bowden being in on the second series, a guy who played very little last year, but was on the team.
A walk-on.
Right.
But a very athletic guy.
Yeah. But you had a lot. I remember seeing one point later in the game, I won't say it somewhere around maybe Syracuse's 3rd touchdown. They had 1st and goal, and I looked, and we basically had a good portion of our defense. It was our 13 defense out there.
Mm-hmm.
So they was going to play these guys and get them some reps, and that will help us later in the year.
Oh, and next year too.
And yeah,
this staff over the last 2 or 3 years, except for safeties,
right? And they did do better at safety last year.
They did.
I'll give them props for that.
But they have played key newcomers in key goal line situations, and not just games that we're winning like today. I've seen them out there in games like Georgia, Florida, Alabama. They get them in there in situations where these guys are like, they're probably nervous as all get out because they're on the field when it matters, you know,
That's true.
and they're new, you know. But this staff, they put you out there.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're going to get more out of them in practice when they know they can go in and at the maybe the stop that you need to win the ball game. They know they could be on the field.
Right. And it makes a big difference. Um,
It speeds up that development.
yeah, it does. It does. There's nothing like game time. You know,
If you don't think you're playing, a lot of people check out.
they do. And speaking of that, Jordan Ross talked about that.
He did last year.
He talked about that. The fact that he didn't do what he needed to do last year because he knew he wasn't getting in the game very much.
Mm-hmm.
So it does. It makes a difference for these guys, for preparation, physically and mentally. Uh, any other things, Tim, that stood out for you for this game?
Yeah, I don't. You know, we've been watching for a lot of quote tweaks on the offense. A lot of talk about the pistol, which I think was all a single play. I
That's
believe.
all I remember one play.
But we did see some passing to the running backs. Um, and I'm sure once I go back and, like I said, watch it on TV, I'll notice a couple more.
All right.
But um, nothing drastic so far. But we didn't have to do nothing drastic so far.
Yeah.
The tail of the tape will, what do we pull out for Georgia?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure we held some stuff back. And I'll just want to reiterate something. We've mentioned this several times on these videos before, but we're just two ball fans. We're no experts. We love talking about Tennessee football. That's the reason why we started this podcast. Because we love
And Lord knows we don't have to know what we're talking about to talk about it.
That's right. They didn't ask for our qualifications when we signed up for this.
No.
But we just enjoyed doing this, and I hope y'all enjoy it. And if you do, let us know about it.
Yeah, we love talking to other ball fans.
We do. I just don't want you to think we think we're experts. We just two guys that love to talk about this stuff. You know.
Yeah, we may not be know-it-alls, but we'll talk it all.
Yeah, yeah. We enjoy giving our opinions about stuff. It's not always right, but we do enjoy this kind of stuff. You know, non-UT, and we can go back if you can think of something else, Tennessee related, Tim. I just don't want to skip over this, but
Yeah, I know you've got something very important, Bob, you like to put out there on the airwaves.
Bama lost today and lost pretty convincingly to a 2-10 team last year. I'm not saying they're going to be that bad this year, but it brings a smile to my heart, Terry Town. Sometimes I wonder. I got a little bit of an issue. I think it almost makes me smile more to see Bama lose than Tennessee win sometimes. I mean,
It's a good day in Big Orange Country. The Vols win and Bama loses.
absolutely, man. I just love getting on their some of their message boards, and I'm saying, they're asking about what kind of buyout does Kellen DeBoer have, and hot boards, and they're worried about the wheels falling off. I mean, it makes me happy.
Well, they're not going to take too long. I will promise you that if the wheels do fall off. The talent's down there.
Yeah.
The board's going to win with it. And but I do enjoy the fact that we started out the year on the right track on both sides.
Right.
And Bama does have they've got some issues.
Yeah, they do. But anyway, we'll go back to Tennessee now.
Kicking game. I know some people's upset because we kept fair catching everything, but I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Dome Stadium, you don't have any regular punt returner back there. We don't really get to practice inside the dome. Our practice facility isn't tall enough really for the booming kicks.
Right.
And then on kickoffs, let's just face it, people, we don't return kickoffs.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
That's just a
Well,
judgment
they
call.
look at it from an analytic point of view, and I'm sure what they're looking at says they'd rather get it at the 25.
Well, quite honestly, most time when we return it, we don't make it to 25. So
Most time you don't. Yeah, most time you don't. Usually it's right around the 20, 22, 23 usually.
yeah, you just waste
Generally.
7 seconds and 3 yards.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I kind of get it. I mean, you don't have a chance to return one for a touchdown or get a really good return, but you do have good field position at 25.
But we'll see some more punt returns soon. We'll see that anyway.
Yeah, I agree that the stadium had a big deal difference. Reason why they didn't return any, and the fact Boo Carter and stuff
Yeah.
back
Hey,
there.
speaking of which, I do want to say one more thing. I want to shout out to my buddy Lynn James. He took me to the game today. Um, he his fiance and him broke up. He'd already bought the tickets, and I gave him my condolences and my acceptance of the tickets.
You didn't.
Nothing else.
You didn't have nothing to do with that, did you, Tim? I mean, I know we take these games
It's
pretty
serious.
seriously.
Yeah.
I don't think you
No,
would do that, would you?
well, I would, but I didn't have to in this.
Didn't have to.
Didn't have to in this case. No, so
Yeah.
he treated me to the game, and I'd want to give him a big shout out. And by the way, he sells copiers for A to Z. So if anybody needs a copier, Lynn James, give him a shout out.
There you go.
And there you go, Lenny. That'll be my part of the ticket there.
There you go.
But do appreciate that. That was a nice trip down. Tired
Yeah.
though, but I will be going to bed soon. But I will be on some Bama boards, reading their gnashing of teeth.
Yes.
And I'll sleep like a baby.
Sleep like a baby. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Any other points about the game at all? Tell me anything else that stood out?
No, just a general way. I would say I'm pleased with the game. I'm not worried about this defense if we're healthy.
If the defensive tackles, in particular, if we get Hobbs back really soon, and we get Moy back, and we get a little bit healthier at that spot.
Well, we got 2 weeks. I mean, I don't want to be, I don't want to diss ETSU that much.
Right.
But, let's be honest about it. If you're dinged up, you don't need to be playing against ETSU. So you've got
They won't be
2 weeks, but you'd like to get them back so they'd be practicing and moving around some.
So you get those. If we get those guys back, the defense will look a lot better. I feel because they ran the ball at a decent, not great, but not. This was not the run defense we had last year, and that's primarily because we was playing with our second and third string defensive tackles. A lot of third string guys. So
And we lost a lot of defensive tackles.
yeah.
So now I will say this about Syracuse. They was a very poor running team last year. But Fran Brown made a statement to go out and get larger human beings on that offensive line, and he did it. And he's got a big old kid back there toting the ball too, about 235 pounds. So
yeah, they was bragging about his body fat percentage being way down there too, and he didn't look like I would not have thought he was 235 pounds by looking at him. So that tells you how put together he was.
yeah, you don't arm tackle him. As many linebackers as we had dinged up and everything else, I'm not surprised he didn't run more than he did.
Yeah, considering this first game of the year, and we don't do a lot of hitting like you do. A few years back, you had a lot of hitting during fall camp. They don't do a whole lot of that. So first game of the year is an opportunity for missed tackles for a guy hitting a guy like that.
Oh yeah, like you said, they thud basically, which sometimes can be pretty physical itself.
Yeah, take me down, but
Yeah.
But well, Tim, I think that's about all we got in.
Yes, sir, it is. Other than well, I ain't gonna say that bad word. I was gonna say something about Bama, but okay, there's a go Big Orange. Go Big Orange.
Go Vols.